Hello, hello, gamers. How we doing today? Hello. Hope everyone's doing good. How are you all? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Bow. Bada bow. Back again. More Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. Very excited. We're gonna just hop immediately into it. Oh my gosh. Well, we were going to, and then my controller decided to just start having a freak out. Hello? There we go. I need a new cord for this controller. But hello, how is everyone? So I was reading the I was reading this title and I thought it just said motive to kill men, and I was like, that's so real. That is so real, Miss You. That's so real. Oh my gosh. Motive to kill the men. All men. There's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. All you really have to establish is that someone had a grudge against one of the two men. Mr. Rell, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday's murder. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity and set up to look like they had killed each other. Okay. I wonder if that's really true. Is there no one out there with a grudge against both men? Oh. I see. I should take another hard look at the evidence for this morning's case. The second KG-8 incident, as people are calling it, involving an embassy staff member and the two men who both wound up as suspects in the case. Is there someone else I'm overlooking who is somehow related to them? There's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. Wrong!
Objection!
Miss You. It hit me when I called her Miss You in the beginning, Miss there, but I can't get over it. It's silly. Miss You. Miss You, I believe there is someone you overlooked in making your statement. Or rather, is it because you'd rather not bring this person up? What do you mean? We are looking for someone with a reason to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. I can think of at least one person that fits the bill. He was the suspect in the original KG-8 incident. And he's here. And a member of the Cadopian embassy staff, Mr. Manny Cochin. That's right. The very man who came to visit you earlier out in the hallway. The man who killed a member of the Cadopian embassy staff, Mr. Rell. And the man who was the lead prosecutor of the KG-8 incident, Mr. Faraday. Are you telling me that Mr. Cochin has no reason at all to kill both of these men? Well, I suppose he might have a reason or two. You covered for me, pal! Maybe you're not such a bad guy after all. Thanks, King. Don't get ahead of yourself. You're still a suspect, make no mistake about that. The perfect evidence, the perfect testimony. These are the only things I wish to hold. But I didn't do it! You will stay under my authority and go investigate Mr. Manny Cochin for me. And remember, I will not be very forgiving should any— Oh. You want to investigate Cochin? You'd just be wasting your time. And why is that? Cochin was up in the viewing gallery, watching the trial. Or so I was told. Every cop in this place has been keeping an eye on the guy since he arrived.
Then the only real suspect we have is still Detective Gumshoe.
I suppose so. No way. Come on, Detective Bad. You've got to believe me, sir. I really was in that hallway the whole time, sir. I never took a single step into this room, sir. Okay, then are you saying there was someone else who passed through the hallway? No, there was no one else, sir. Then why should I believe you didn't do it?
That is one incredibly foolish detective, standing right in front of a crime scene all by himself. It's as good as a confession of guilt.
I have to admit, it's a bit strange. Most criminals will fabricate some sort of lie to escape their crimes. And if that detective really wanted to prove that he is innocent, you'd think he would at the very least offer up "I spaced out while on duty" or the like. Come on, Gumshoe. Time for your interrogation. Detective Bad. Oh.
Miles Edgeworth, I will go on ahead and report this to Papa.
And that, as they say, is that. Right, everyone? Shut up, Judge. What input have you had?
Well, I suppose we should both be getting back to our real jobs now, huh?
Before we do, Miss Yu, there is something I'd like to speak with you about.
What is it?
Don't you giggle at me.
So, what did you want to ask me about?
The KG-8 incident. The current case of the murdered Cadopian embassy staff member. I've heard that people have begun calling it the second KG-8 incident.
Only among you law enforcement types. And what about it?
She says that as if she doesn't work in law. Like, you're a defense attorney. I'd like for you to tell me everything you know about the original KG-8 incident. If anything, defense attorneys in this universe are the real law enforcement. They're the ones doing all the work.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't know anything beyond what was reported in the papers.
No, I believe you know much more, since you are directly tied to the KG-8 incident.
I'd appreciate it if you stop with the false accusations.
Girl, you got a relative in this article.
Baseless outbursts are useless both inside and outside the courtroom, don't you know?
I do, but I also know that I do have a leg to stand on here.
Think you can stop making that ultra-serious face in front of me?
If you could please stop laughing for just 1 second. I'm not going to make any headway like this. I'm just going to have to show her exactly how related to the KG-8 incident she is. Okay? Boom. Miss Yu, I believe that I have proof of your connection to the KG-8 incident.
The file is your proof?
Very well then.
Why don't you tell me exactly how I'm related to the KG-8 incident? Through the victim.
Dum-dum. Can't you read? Your connection to the KG-8 incident is through the victim. The victim's name is CCU. You will note that she has the same last name as you. Can you really still tell me with a straight face that you are not related to this case?
Sorry, but we're not related.
But
just kidding. You asked that question with such a serious look on your face that I couldn't help but...
Miss Yu, I ask that you please tell me the truth. Alright, I'll tell you everything I know. As you guessed, the one who reported the smuggling activities of the Amato group was my sister, CCU, as I thought. And she was killed right before she was to testify at the impending trial. By Manny Cochin. But because he was tried once and was acquitted, he gets to live out the rest of his cushy life, completely carefree. All because of a lack of evidence. No, I heard that the evidence to convict him did exist. What? I heard it from Mr. Faraday himself after Mr. Cochin's trial was over. Apparently, a man in black made off with the most important piece of evidence. Then, the evidence had been tampered with? Isn't it just like a criminal to do something like that? The smuggling ring being run out of the Yamano group by one of its secretaries. I think we should investigate Manfred von Karma. He is known to hide crucial evidence. They bailed Mr. Cochin out. Turns out they were in league with each other all along. How big was that smuggling ring? Was it a large operation? I don't really know. Which is why I wanted to become the lead defense on this case that people are calling the second KG8 incident. But I haven't learned anything new at all. I was probably expecting too much, I know. You mean you think this case has nothing to do with the smuggling ring? I don't know what to think. Let's talk about Manny. Why did Mr. Cochin want to meet with you earlier? Actually, he came to watch the trial. Apparently, he only found out that I was the defense lawyer in this case after he'd arrived. He figured he should say hi and one other thing. Looks like you couldn't resolve anything this time either. Too bad. What's that supposed to mean? Oh boy, stop it with the scary face already. You know what I just realized? I realized I never changed the title of the stream. I just realized that just now. Usually I do before I go live, and I just completely forgot. I'm gonna do that now. Wish I changed it to. We're live changing the title. Usually I sit on this screen for like 10 minutes trying to think of just anything that I haven't done before. I don't know. Yeah, it's boring, but it works. Alright. Oh boy, stop it with the scary face already. I'm fine, really. I gave him a good slap across the face. The way she talks about slapping him as she laughs away is kind of creepy. But it's just as Mr. Bat said. He's not related to the double murder. I asked around and people in the gallery claimed that he was in his seat the entire time. Talk about cruel fate. Well, this is about all I know. Sorry. Guess I wasn't much help, huh? That's not true. I'm sorry I made you recall such a painful time in your life. Edgeworth, you really are too serious for your own good. You really need to learn to relax. We wouldn't want you to die of stress, would we? Thank you for the advice, but there's no need to worry. I work in my own way, and I will catch this criminal in my own way as well. You'll see. Look at you with your game face on, ready to go. I'm making no such face. But you know, laughter is the best medicine, Edgeworth. Don't you get tired of making such a serious face all the time? I'm charged with making sure that all the criminals of this world are found guilty. I have no need for laughter. There you go, making that face again. Oh well. I've gotta get going. I still have a few loose ends I need to tie up. Okay, bye. Bye, Queen. The KG8 incident and this murder investigation. It is my belief that these two cases are related to each other somehow. Plus that Detective Gumshoe. It's obvious he's lying, even though the lie is hurting his chances. Clearly, this case is far from over. Whether or not that detective is the murderer can only be determined once I've completed my perfect investigation. Mr. Von Karma, I swear to uphold your honorable name, or my name isn't Miles Edgeworth. Callisto Yu joins the fray. I love the little titles. Onward, towards the truth. It's cute. Uh-oh. Yo, look at that guy in the back. He's just chilling. And what is that? What is the guy? Look at the guy in the water fountain. Oh my gosh. It's awesome. September 10th, 4:45 p.m. District Court, 3rd floor lobby. Sir, what is to become of the trial into the Cadopian Embassy staff member's murder? Indeed, since both the suspect and the prosecutor are now dead, the case will be dismissed. In other words, the trial ends here prematurely.
Looks like you'll have to wait just a bit longer for your big debut.
I suppose it can't be helped. The evidence for this trial will be transferred to you in a little while. So, what do you think about the murder of the Cadopian Embassy staff member? And the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell? What an outrageous circus it has all become. That Faraday brought it all upon himself with his naivete. An outrageous circus. Right, sir. I grow weary of this topic. Edgeworth, I will have you assigned to a different case.
Papa, you'll come and watch my courtroom debut next, won't you?
I'll consider it. Sir, if I may, please allow me to continue with my investigation. I'm watching Alice in Borderland right now and it's so Sigma. Is that Von Karma? No. It's Von Karma, the man himself. I hope she slays literally and metaphorically. Real. Sir, if I may, please allow me to continue with my investigation. Whatever for. I know that there is already a suspect in the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. However, there is not enough evidence to prove that it was he who committed the crime. I'd like to continue investigating in order to find the perfect proof of his guilt. The perfect proof? Don't make me laugh. A worthless person like you has no right to claim such a thing as perfection.
Papa? Who do you think is the real culprit behind these murders? Miles and I, we're competing to see who can find the real killer first. Plus, being able to investigate a real crime scene is a really rare opportunity.
It's really interesting to see Franziska actually, like, talking with Von Karma, because we never see that in any of their other games. It's really interesting to see her interactions.
It would give us some real-life experience, wouldn't you agree?
If you want to investigate this case that much, then do as you wish. Then you're allowing us to continue? In court, your top priority is to win, and a solid investigation is one of the keys to winning. We have to make sure you become recognized as a first-rate prosecutor, don't we? It wouldn't be very interesting otherwise. I'm returning home now. Edgeworth, Franziska, see to it I'm not disturbed, save for the results of your competition. Yes, sir.
Of course, Papa.
Franziska, thank you.
What are you thanking me for? Your logic earlier was built on that scruffy detective's lie. That means the competition is still on.
Yes, just as you wished.
I couldn't let you get off so easily. Now then, let's see how well you fare on the investigation from here, Miles Edgeworth.
I know I don't have enough information yet, so my first order of business will be to question anyone involved with this case.
Okay. Hello.
Wow! This thing is so incredibly detailed! My inner modeling fanboy is impressed. I'm not exactly a fan of plastic models per se, but even I can sense the superb quality of this model.
I simply cannot comprehend how that man can feel so much love for such a trifle.
Oh, I see.
You're a disciple of my father. So you would do well to guard yourself against an interest in such unproductive things.
Miles, where is your backbone, man? Stand up for yourself. Yes, perhaps I should take up whipping people like the young lady over here. Stand up for yourself, Miles Edgeworth. Don't let anyone put you down. You say, I don't care what you have to say. This is cool. I don't care if you don't like it. I can't stop the water, sir. It seems that the man who was here earlier broke it by drinking from it too much. Oh, is that what's happening?
Bunch of fools who pretended to not see the foolishly foolish actions of a foolish fool.
Well then, why don't you lend the officer a hand?
As if I should have anything to do with this. Besides, that water-drinking fool's mouth is the thing that officer should be covering. Let's give that officer a description of the water guzzler later.
She seems to have quite the grudge. It sounds to me like someone wanted a drink. What's the matter, officer? I've been standing here for forever, sir, and I really need to go to the bathroom. Oh my god, look at all those judge photos. You must have the giant white beard in order to be a judge in this court. Or in any court in this universe. Why don't you make a quick trip? The nearest one isn't that far, is it? No, it's a short way down the hall beyond these doors, but I don't want to be blamed for anything that might happen while I'm gone. So I'm gonna hold it. Perhaps Detective Gumshoe can be a positive influence on the force after all. Sir! Nothing to report, sir! Is there no one who will make this man take responsibility for his actions on the job?
Looks like we have no choice but to report this to Papa. Then this guard can have fun in a waking nightmare after being awakened from his dream.
Actually, let's not. I kind of feel sorry for him now. Who do we talk to? You or you? You or you? It wasn't me, I tell ya! I didn't do anything wrong. Yes, I understand. So let's calm down, okay, buddy? I doubt I'll get anything useful from the detective while he was this agitated.
Okay. Miles Edgeworth?
Yes?
What is the meaning of this bulletin board? Why are there so few trials posted?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It would appear that the entire week is devoted to Mr. Rell's trial.
Is the crime rate really that low in this country? Or maybe the police lack the proper motivation to get out there and catch the criminals?
I'm afraid I can't comment on that. However, I can say I have my doubts about the younger detectives.
Sounds to me like they're in need of a stricter hand. And I'll start my discipline regimen with that pathetic, filthy-coated detective.
I feel bad for the big guy, and yet I can find no suitable reason to stop her. Hello, ma'am. Miss you.
Oh, it's you, Edgeworth. And who are you? Wait, you were at the crime scene just now, weren't you? You should be disbarred for not knowing who I am. I am Franziska von Karma, and I'm about to become the successor to the family name.
About to? I guess that means for now, you're still just another kid. Oh, get her.
In which case, it's only natural that I didn't know who you are.
Damn, she destroyed her. Why are you whipping me?
Anyway, it looks like they're planning to hold the evidence a bit longer. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's waiting.
I'm terribly sorry, but I have a few more questions to ask of you.
Look at you, eyebrows scrunched with lines on your forehead. And that,
To ask of you? But what exactly is so funny?
sorry, it's just bad. I'm just bad at dealing with a super serious atmosphere.
Apparently they failed to teach you proper behavior at a crime scene in law school.
Oh, I feel much better now. So what is it you wanted to talk about?
I'd like to inquire as to where you were at the time of the murder.
We were in defendant lobby number 1 the whole time, up until we heard the gunshot. And by we, I mean Mr. Bad. If you don't believe me, feel free to ask him yourself.
You were with Detective Bad? Why?
We had a little something to discuss, that's all. Like murder and killing people. Ah, dang.
So I take it you are acquaintances with Detective Bad?
Yeah, he was the detective in charge of the KG8 incident.
Detective Bad is also related to that incident?
That's right. He was the one who was supposed to protect my sister, Cece. But you know how that turned out, don't you, Edgeworth? Miles Edgeworth? I have no idea what you two are talking about. I've heard of the KG8 incident from my papa. But how does that case relate to you, Miss Yu? The victim of that case, CCU, was my little sister.
Oh.
You're making that super serious face again. I'm fine, really. I just make it a point to rub some more salt in his wounded pride every time I see him.
The way she talks about doing that as she laughs away is kind of creepy.
Oh, speaking of Mr. Bad, he and Mr. Faraday, I'd say they met up just about every single time the Yatagarasu made a move. It was practically a given that the two would meet up at every one of the crime scenes.
I see. He did mention that he is in charge of the Yatagarasu investigation earlier. Maybe I should ask her what she knows about the Yatagarasu in more detail. You claim that at the time of the murder, you were with Detective Bad.
But don't you lawyers usually discuss the trial with your clients during a recess? We do, and that's what I was planning to do. But Mr. Faraday was being rather threatening, and he dragged Mr. Rell away. After that, Mr. Bad came into lobby number 1, so we just stayed there and talked.
And what did you talk with Detective Bad about?
Nothing interesting. I just insulted him some. Talked about how the trial was going, and then I insulted him some more.
Bloody. When she's not laughing, her mouth seemingly spews nothing but insults. My heart, it hurts.
Anyway, Mr. Bad and I were in defendant lobby number 1 when the murders occurred. So I really can't tell you anything about the hallway or lobby number 2.
I see. Alright, let's talk about Macrel. I'd like to ask you a few questions about your client, Mr. Macrel. Now, your client first claimed to be the Yatagarasu. Is that correct?
Yeah. Once I heard that it was the Yatagarasu that had made off with the evidence from KG8, I began to ask Mr. Rell all sorts of questions, but to no avail. Turns out Mr. Rell was not the Yatagarasu. He had just made that up.
He made it up? He lied? People lie in this world?
Mr. Rell's crime was caught on tape by the security cameras, but there is no footage of him sneaking into the Cadopian embassy itself. Hold on for just 1 second. Then, you mean to say that you knew he was not the real Yatagarasu? And that he was just another cold-blooded killer? And you were ready to defend him? Yeah, that's right.
I see. So a defense lawyer is actually just someone whose job is to cover for criminals.
Okay.
Buddy. You're not one to talk.
That's why defense lawyers are so detestable, but they are no match for us Von Karmas. I don't believe it. You're serious. Why don't you save that face for something really worth being serious about? And Edgeworth, do you remember what I said earlier? I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KG-8 incident, alright?
And for that, you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer?
Don't put words in my mouth. I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rell was to be his lawyer. I had no intention of covering for him, ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to.
I'm sorry. Forgive my rashness. Alright. Yatagarasu. Miss Yu, I was wondering if you could tell me about the Yatagarasu.
The Yatagarasu, huh? I don't really know much about that character myself. But I do get a lot of consultation requests from companies to defend them.
Requests from companies?
The Yatagarasu isn't some petty thief out for money, you know. Alright then, perhaps the Yatagarasu is in the business of stealing people's lives?
Ooh. She's gonna slap that child.
You're not very funny or witty, are you, little Miss Von Karma?
Oh my gosh. Franziska, be careful about who you whip. Choose carefully. Choose carefully, or we may be sued by.
There, I chose carefully, just like you wanted. That just now was hilarious, little Missy. Of course it was.
What is wrong with these two women? Why does my pain give them delight? Women, no.
And, so in the end, what is the Yatagarasu? I have to say, I had never even heard of this thief while I was in Germany.
The Yatagarasu deals in information. Namely, in digging out dirt about backroom dealings and the like of companies. The Yatagarasu is a vigilante who steals such info and then makes it public for all to see.
Vigilante or not, this person sounds like just another criminal to me.
I suppose you could put it that way too. But either way, I get a lot more clients now thanks to that thief. Sounds like Miss Yu is profiting nicely. I suppose I've gotten all I can out of Miss Yu. I should move on and speak with Detective Gumshoe now.
Okay. Hello it.
I didn't know this was an option. Franziska, let's go! No one's here. We can do what we want. It's me. I'm the judge now.
This must be the judge's desk. You could tell by the gavel sitting on top.
Is that how you can tell? Is that how you can tell, Franziska? Is that how you can tell it's the judge's bench? I had a dream once that I was being squashed from above by this gavel. Okay. Wait, can we talk about that? That how you had this dream and then later Phoenix Wright would go on to have this dream? In like a couple years from this point? Can we talk about that? Why are you and Phoenix Wright so connected? Miles Edgeworth? You want to talk about that?
You're such a weakling, Miles Edgeworth.
You have no idea how frightening it was. Alright. I'm trying. I can't get behind the stand.
Any day now I'll be taking my rightful place behind this bench.
By that time, I should already be standing here.
It'd be downright disgraceful if I beat you to it, wouldn't it?
If that were to happen, Franziska, I'll eat my cravat. Oh, not the defense bench. It's the defense attorney's bench. I'd probably be standing on this side of the courtroom if that incident hadn't happened. Damn, if only my dad didn't die, I'd be on this side of the room.
What are you thinking about?
My dead dad, Francisca. Why don't we come back to that topic in a couple years?
Lately, the more wrinkly your face becomes, the less I'm able to read what you're thinking.
Well, I'll have you know I don't have a single wrinkle upon my youthful brow. Oh, got an achievement behind each bench for examining all 3 benches. That's awesome. It's the witness stand.
I'll make sure that each and every person that ever stands here will be found guilty.
There are others besides the defendant that stand at this podium, you know.
I don't care. Just make sure you never end up standing at one of these.
Yeah.
Or you'll be sorry.
I'll keep that in mind. Alright. Well, I didn't mean to walk in there. I was trying to talk to these guys. Detective Gumshoe. Hey! It's you, pal. You're here. Ouch!
As am I.
I don't think you need to whip him to let him know that. I didn't do it, pal. I swear on my honor as a detective, I really didn't. Your words are useless. I place my trust only in the evidence, detective. Once the investigation is fully over, and should we find out that you are the killer, there will be no mercy to be had for you. I have a heart, pal. But you're not worried, right? After all, you have nothing to worry about. If you really are innocent, that is. That's right. Hey, pal. Go and do your perfect investigation and get the real killer for me, will ya? I would have done so, even had you not requested me to, detective. So you and Mr. Faraday had a small meeting last week, did you? And what exactly did you do to make him so angry? I just asked Detective Bad the same thing myself, pal. Turns out he was mad at me because on my very first day as a detective, I reported in at my usual post instead of the Criminal Affairs Department. By the time I got down to Criminal Affairs, I was really, really late. And that's when he gave me that huge speech.
I remember doing the same exact thing in elementary school. On the first day of school, every year, I'd always wind up going to my old classroom.
How pathetic for the detective to be comparable to a mere school child. You claimed to be standing guard in front of the door to lobby number 2 during the recess. However, when did you receive the order to do so, and from whom? Earlier at around 3:20 and from Detective Bad, pal. Today's trial took a really crazy turn. So I was told to make sure nothing happened to Mr. Faraday.
And yet something did happen to him, correct? It looks like it was a total waste of manpower to assign you the guard duty.
Oh, your words sting worse than your whip, pal. So it was Detective Bad who ordered him to stand guard, huh? Now then, Detective Gumshoe, is there anything else you'd like to tell me? Nope, not a thing, pal. I keep forgetting which games we're in. I was expecting the Psyche Locks. I really was. Or the Apollo Justice bracelet. I was expecting one of those to happen, but that's not Miles' Edgeworth's superpower. His superpower is puzzle pieces.
In that case, allow us to take a look at what you are carrying on your personage.
Wait! You can't do that!
There's nothing of any particular value here.
Well, my handcuffs and badge were confiscated by Detective Bad, you know. And what is that open envelope I see sticking out of your coat pocket? Oh, this is my reason for murder, pal. Aw, dang. Hands off, pal.
Just show it to us already.
No. Oh, a bonus. Annual bonus check within. $5 total. Except there's no check inside. You've had your look, now give it back, pal. It's my first bonus as a brand new detective. I just got it and cashed it today. I had literally no cash on me up until I did, you know? It's so sad. So that envelope is really special to me. Now give it back.
You don't need rubbish like this. Don't worry, we'll throw it away for you later.
Oh, could you? Detective Gumshoe's annual bonus of $5 literally had no money on him until he cashed this. I'm sorry, but I need to take him in for questioning now. I think I've asked him just about everything I needed to. No, wait. Since he became a suspect, there's one piece of evidence I should reconfirm. Officer, I ask that you wait a second. I still have one thing I'd like to reconfirm with Detective Gumshoe. Understood, but please make it brief, sir. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. I must confirm whether or not his testimony about when the crime occurred is the truth. Okay. We have his testimony, right? Yeah. You told me earlier that you heard no sound other than the gunshot out in the hallway. Is that correct? No mistake about it, pal. Then you were also claiming that no one passed through the hallway either. Is that also correct? Yup. Not even a single ant passed through that hall while I was on duty. You do realize that the lie you're telling is only making life more difficult for yourself. Huh? Oh. But it's true. I didn't see anyone go through that hallway and I didn't hear anything else, pal. I bet the killer found a way to kill the two guys. That's beyond what I can even imagine. And that's not very much. So he intends to continue telling this ridiculous lie. But why would he do so, given the situation he's in? I believe a thorough investigation of the hallway in front of the defendant lobbies is in order. Oh, it's Kay! She's so cute. You! I adore her. I adore Kay Faraday so much. She just runs.
How could you have not have noticed that coming?
Wasn't that the child I changed money for earlier?
Thanks! That's exactly what I needed.
Kids can sometimes be so cruel.
It looks like she dropped something.
A Swiss roll! A Swiss roll dropped by the mysterious young girl says courthouse special on it.
Maybe we should arrest the girl. She might turn out to be a valuable lead.
I believe some sort of punishment may need to be dealt the next time we meet. I believe I've asked all that I need to of this man. Now for Detective Bad and the judge.
We have to confirm who is correct. The judge or that scrub face, right? I suppose we should inspect the hallway in front of lobby number 2 next, then.
I suppose so. Shall we head on over, Franziska? Thank you for moving out of the way, Miss Yu. I appreciate it. September 10th, District Court hallway. So, did you see anything else? Nope, I don't think so. I see. Well, thanks for your cooperation. Oh, it's nothing. Just doing my duty as a defender of the law. That'll be all for now. I'll ask again if I have any other questions. Anytime, Detective. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a few loose ends I have to tie up. Oh, you're that new prosecutor Mr. Von Karma recommended, right? My name is Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor.
And I'm Manfred Von Karma's daughter, Franziska Von Karma. I'm set to become the successor to my genius father any day now, Your Honor.
I see. Mr. New Prosecutor recommended by... Mr. New Prosecutor recommended by Von Karma, Miles Edgeworth, and Miss I bit my tongue. Are you alright, Your Honor?
Please feel free to refer to me as just Miss Von Karma, Your Honor. As for him, just Edgeworth is fine.
Apparently somebody doesn't feel that I'm worthy of a proper title. Oh ho! Very well then. I shall call you Miss Von Karma and Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth. Incredible. Your Honor, Mr. Edgeworth is fine, sir. Now about your earlier testimony. Yes, what about it, Mr. Edgeworth? I would like to ask you a few questions about what exactly you saw. All right. After all, it's my duty to clarify my testimony as a defender of the law. I greatly appreciate your cooperation, Your Honor. Now, the first thing I will need to do is figure out that detective's exact movements.
Investigation.
Hallway.
Swiss roll. It would appear that this vending machine sells snacks and various other foods. A vending machine that sells courthouse special goods, a few sweet items are for sale.
So we're gonna find out that Kay was in the hallway. Got it. Just lovely. What will they think of next?
Don't be a jerk in court like these beef jerks. One package for $9. Defendant's fresh milk.
I hate that. I hate that.
1/2 pint for $7. Stay neutral as the Swiss do until the end with these for $6. They're awfully overpriced.
The lineup is simply awful, period.
Speaking of snacks, I wonder if that Swiss roll the little girl dropped is from this machine.
I was wondering about that myself.
Stay neutral as the Swiss do until the end with these. The end of what?
Well, I assume it means the end of the trial. I suppose this means that one should eat these during a recess?
You can't eat during a trial, so I suppose the only time you can eat them is now, huh?
I wouldn't mind if you wanted to eat one now. They come in packs of 2, after all.
We're in the middle of an investigation. Besides, I don't have $6 on me.
If you want, we can pool our money and buy a pack together.
If I have to split it with you, then I don't want it.
Oops. Credit cards accepted! Hooray! The milk! Defendant's fresh milk. What exactly is that supposed to mean? That's a great question.
I bet it means that the milk is I bet it means that the milk is freshly milked by various defendants on trial right now.
No, I think it might mean that this was milked right here from the various defendants.
Miles Edgeworth, you can't possibly be serious.
That's horrible. Of course not. Oh my god. They need to stop talking. When it's looking bad, blind your opposition with some OJ? Are they promoting violence?
Don't worry. My VIP will make sure that anybody following this advice won't be for long.
Compared to the sting of a whip, the sting of orange juice might not be so bad. When you're in hot water, you might need a hot dog. That's it? Looks like the slogan was decided through a public contest. And the winner was Prosecutor Winston Payne?
What a pathetic slogan. No presence at all. Now, if it were up to me, it would read, "If you leave matters in a Von Karma's hands, everyone in court will be found guilty dogs."
That's incredible.
Objection!
Overruled.
And don't be a jerk in court like these beef jerks. I see.
Objection!
Miles Edgeworth, wouldn't you agree that it's a very clever pun?
Do you really think they put that much effort into the product name?
Even a foolish fool could understand the foolish thinking of the fool who made it up. You're acting so foolishly that I got so thoroughly mad and am now utterly famished.
If you wanted a pack of these, all you had to do was ask like a normal person. Don't let the prosecution and the defense make a ham sandwich out of you.
It sounds like it's directed at that ham of a judge.
Well, it certainly isn't directed at me. I can outmaneuver him any day.
Okay.
Oh. Is that all? Okay.
It doesn't look like there's anything contradictory left in this area.
I suppose not. Perhaps I should check somewhere else. Okay. Did you find something, officer? Oh, I think there's a $5 bill back there. Come on. Just a little more.
If there was no one working this crime scene who isn't... Is there no one working this crime scene who isn't a total waste of living tissue?
So real. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a single person we can deem useful here. Like, what is this guy even dusting for? Have you found any suspicious fingerprints, officer? Nope, just the fingerprints of those involved in the case, sir. Like, you're not gonna find any, like, useful fingerprints. Like, come on. How many people, like, open that door?
I guess we know all the players in this case then, huh?
It would appear that way, but I have the nagging feeling that we're missing something. And I suspect that we're missing is hiding right here in this crime scene somewhere.
He's making a most ridiculous-looking face.
That may be, but at least he doesn't look like someone who would tell a lie on purpose.
I suppose, but to a Von Karma, evidence is the only thing that carries any weight.
Of course. And at any rate, this poster seems to be of no use to us right now. Right now, you say? There are no signs that this fire extinguisher was used in the crime.
If you could already tell from a distance, then why are you wasting your time examining it?
Franziska, let's try not to rush absolute genius. Okay, Edgeworth. Okay. Calm down, buddy. Ooh. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. What is this? It's a pink-colored piece of trash, made of rubber. Piece of pink trash found on the windowsill of the hallway window, made of rubber. Okay. I feel like I've seen something like this before.
Well, all I see is a piece of garbage, like a balloon. But you know, the fact that there is a litterer running loose inside this courthouse is simply unforgivable.
It's not like it was I who littered.
Rubbish belongs in a rubbish bin. What's the matter?
I pricked myself on one of these cactus's needles. I didn't think the needles on this thing would be so sharp.
Well, what did you expect? Can you imagine how bad it would be if you were hit on the head by one of these?
Oh my god.
Anyway, this cactus seems to be unrelated to our case.
Do you really think so? Because I believe that this cactus sitting on this windowsill is completely related. Potted cactus sitting on the hallway's windowsill, its needles are dangerous.
Oh, well then I look forward to your explanation on how exactly it is related.
The ants are hard at work carrying their food home. Those are ants? It's a marvel that they can pick up such comparatively large objects to their size.
Well, if you want to carry the mighty Von Karma name and not be squished under it, you'd better work extra hard, just like these ants.
The same goes for you, Franziska. What is that? We have nothing to say about that. Okay. The dirt on this bench smells like some sort of sweet substance.
I can't believe there's someone going around dirtying the courthouse. For shame.
Hold it!
Calm down, Franziska. Now take a good look. Doesn't this smudge look kind of like a handprint to you?
I suppose it could be.
Which means that perhaps we can lift the prints of the person who sullied this bench. Bring in Emma.
I see. And then we'll know the identity of our mystery slob.
You there, the lab technician. Could you please find out who this handprint belongs to? Sir, yes, sir. I've got the results of the fingerprint analysis, sir. And do we know who they belong to? Sir, the fingerprints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Oh, interesting. Good work, officer. Left on the hallway bench, dark smudge amidst the scent of sweet sugar. Okay.
And there you have it.
Yes, I suppose so.
Now we know the identity of the person who dirtied the bench.
I sense that you and I will be using this information in very different ways. Okay.
What are these black speckles?
I believe it's a pile of ants eating away.
Oh, that detective. He claims that not a single ant slid by him. And yet here's a whole hill of them.
What are you hitting me for?
As a replacement for that pathetic detective.
Perhaps I should add this deduction to the detective's growing tab of pay cuts.
Anyway, I wonder what the ants are eating.
From the look of the sweet smell of it, pieces of cake and a chocolate from a Swiss roll. Interesting.
Miles Edgeworth, the courthouse is to be kept pristine at all times.
It wasn't me that dropped food on the ground.
The courthouse must be kept clean.
Ants are pouring out of the hole in this bench as well. I wonder if the inside of this bench consists of nothing but ants.
Don't you dare continue with that gross line of thought.
I'm sorry. Okay. I can look outside. However, I doubt the killer could have escaped through here.
Of course not. This is the 3rd floor, after all.
It appears that bars were installed on this to prevent people from falling out.
Bars? What bars?
Can you not see them from your vantage point? What? I must remember not to bring up that taboo subject again. Okay. Your Honor, I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind. Where were you at the time of the murder? Do you expect me of something? No, nothing of the sort, Your Honor. Very well. You may continue with your testimony. Your Honor, it's your testimony I'm after. Oh! I had no idea you were chasing after me or my testimony. I'm beginning to sense that I might want to avoid being in a trial run. Oh, that was Edgeworth. I'm beginning to sense that I might want to avoid being in a trial run by this judge. Let's see here. Now then, how should I put this? When you get to be my age, you need to pay more frequent visits to the rest. If you go take a look through the window at the end of this hall, you'll see a small window. That is the window to the men's restroom. In other words, you can see clearly into this hallway from the men's restroom. When I was going into the restroom, that detective, Gumshoe, is it? Well, he was standing in front of the vending machines, buying something from it. However, and this I couldn't believe, when I was about to exit the restroom, there was not a soul in the hallway anymore. Your Honor, if you could please calm down and explain it to me rationally. Oh, I'm really sorry. Please let me regain my composure. It was really suspicious. That's what my finely honed judge's intuition said. Although, well, until the murders occurred, I just sort of brushed it off. Ho. Apparently, this judge doesn't understand the concept of staying calm. The restroom window, huh?
I wonder if you can really see the men's bathroom window from that one there.
You can. I'm looking at it right now. It's a wild window.
I demand that you show me this view at once!
Okay, calm down, girl. Calm down. I suspect that her height is what's limiting her ability to see. Damn. That's probably I'm going to find out from His Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, may I return to my other duties now? Yes, I'm sorry to have held you up. Thank you for your cooperation, Your Honor. Oh, any time, Mr. Edgeworth. Any time. Alright.
The judges in this country seem rather friendly.
Yes, if not a little wishy-washy. However, I hear that they are known to hand down very fair verdicts. Do they? Is that what they're known? I've never seen someone that excited to look at a view in the window. Especially one of the men's bathroom. Like, girl, calm down. Alrighty, guys.
Thank you so much for joining the stream. I'm gonna go head off now. Thank you guys for joining me. It's been fun.
Trying to get back into the regular streams again. Let's find someone to raid. How about you? Go show them some love. Show them some love.
Thank you guys for joining me. I'll catch y'all later. Thanks for joining. Bye, guys.
Sending you all off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.